I guess we're going to make shortbreads, and it's an old traditional recipe, but many people don't make it because they find it very difficult. But it's only difficult when you don't know the proper way to put it together. The ingredients are simple, and it's a joy to make shortbreads. I love it.
Welcome to Grammy's Cottage Kitchen, and today we have a special guest which I'm very excited to introduce you to. This is my mother-in-law and love, and I call her Mom, and but she's also known as Grandma and Gigi around here.
Well, great. Thank you for having me. So I'm going to start with a pound of butter and a cup of sugar and 5 cups of flour. I have already put in 3 sticks of butter, and I'm going to put the 4th one in so that you can see I use the whole cube. Okay, but you want it really soft, but you don't want to melt it in the microwave. If this was in a china bowl, we would heat it a little bit. But it's coming along. We like to make shortbreads, especially for gifts. I give them all away to my friends and family, people who need a little encouragement, and people I love and I want to show a little love to. I make them some shortbreads. And some people say, "Oh, you always make the same thing." But you know, when you really make something you like, everybody likes, then you just want to keep making it. You could use the sugar. Okay, good. And then I just take and mix that in as well until it all disappears.
Okay. And you just work till it's all the way completely mixed in.
That's right. It's important to use good sugar and good butter.
I've noticed sometimes with sugar that it will be like grainy and you can almost see it in the butter. Do you mix it till it's kind of dissolved, or does it matter?
Oh, I think it matters. I think I mix it until it's really well smooth. You don't want it too grainy. And of course, you use a fine sugar. I think your sugar is a little coarser.
More grainy.
Okay, now we're going to add flour, 5 cups. But we're not going to add it all at once, and that is where people find it difficult. They see the recipe 5 cups and they dump in all 5 cups, and it doesn't work.
Okay.
So the secret is 1 cup at a time.
Okay. So, and then when you scoop it out, do you use a knife and top it?
I don't, but
or do you do you settle it?
I shake it a little bit.
We want to do it the way you do it because it's the right way. So
that's good.
Is that good? Okay, so 1.
Just shake it all around.
1. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, there we go.
And you'll find that it takes a little work, but you know,
makes your arms strong.
Yeah. Anything worth doing, you want to do it well.
Yes.
Now, another thing that I do is I teach sometimes young ladies from my church. They like to come and be with me, be in the house, and that's part of the fun of having a young women come, because it builds character and friendships together as we work, and then they're able to get gifts given, to give gifts.
Right. So we've got the 5 in, and we've saved just a little bit here.
Right. Now comes the part that is a bit different. When I use my hands, I use a squeezing motion so that it starts coming together.
So you can't work this dough too hard.
No, it's a wonderful dough. I've baked it and then I've realized that my cookies weren't brown on the bottom, and I put them back in.
Oh, really?
And
Wow.
bake them just a little more. They're just fine. And okay. I'm gonna use both hands. Now, no one taught me this. These were called Papa's shortbreads, and I never really knew how to make them. I just, I guess I watched him one time, but he didn't do this part.
So Papa is?
My father, my husband's father. We called him Papa. He's from England, and this is his recipe.
So this is Staches' grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old Stash.
Yes.
We like it.
We love it. Yes. Go ahead.
At this point, we've finished the dough balls, and we've put flour and sugar on the board. And so I'm going to roll it out, and I need to be in this position. And I make mine. You would think I was doing pie crust. So I like to keep flour and sugar underneath the dough, and so that the dough is movable.
Okay.
So I'm just going to fold it over and squish it up again. Like it seems a bit odd, doesn't it?
So if it gets all cracky like that, do you just kind of push it together?
I push it together, and I want it to be as smooth as can be. Now this would be a bit easier if I had gotten the butter softened a little more. It's
But
coming.
you think it'll come?
It's coming together. Yeah.
Very good. It's amazing how it looks so dry, like it was impossible, but you just keep working it, and it's coming together.
Kind of looks like pie crust, doesn't it?
Yes.
And then when I cut it, then I take all the scraps and put it back in together.
With pie crust, you have to be more like you wouldn't want to
Gentle.
work it too much,
Right.
Yeah. But
This you can work
be...
this to death. It doesn't care.
Okay.
It doesn't cry at you or anything. So, and you can do all kinds of things with this dough. You can use cookie cutters and make Christmas cookies, or fun cookies for the children. They like that. And now I need a little sugar. So I sprinkle sugar on this. And now the important thing to remember is to sugar your cookie before you prick it. Now we're going to prick the cookie with a fork.
Okay.
All shortbreads have prick holes in them. That's how you know you're having a shortbread.
And does it help it bake differently, or it's just an identification?
It keeps it, the cookie tends to swell a little bit when you're cooking and baking it.
Okay, so we're going to fill up this pan, and so we bake it at...
Yes, we are. You bake your cookies at 350 degrees for 15 minutes, but it depends on your oven. So by the time you cook one pan, the oven is a bit hotter. So I always cook the first one 15 minutes, and then I check the second one at 14.
At 14.
And so I do that over and over again.
And I've noticed these cookies, you like them lighter than some other cookies that you might
Yes,
see.
these cookies are supposed to be golden brown on the bottom. Golden. If you take the cookie off and look at the bottom, you have to wait, because if it's hot you can't pick it up. So you wait a little while, and then you look at the bottom, and if it's still white, it's not done.
Okay.
But if it's golden brown, it's perfect. So
Okay. Okay, so we got our cookies all baked. And
Yes.
they went pretty quickly. That's at 350 for 15 minutes per pan, excuse me. And then Mom says these don't taste good when they're warm, which is,
Oh, no.
yeah, tell us
They're
about that.
totally different texture. They're kind of soggy when they're warm. You want to wait until they're thoroughly cooled and nice and crunchy. And did you want to see the back of the cookie?
break one also after.
That is a light golden brown.
I always like to, there we go.
You can see the little layers almost in the dough.
So, are we going to try one?
Well, why not?
Can't have a shortbread
I
without,
didn't do all that work for nothing.
can't have a shortbread without tea. So we made a pot of tea.
It really goes well with tea.
Yes.
But you can drink it with
There we go.
anything. My grandsons, they just gobble them up. They don't care if they're drinking or not. Oh, I love to dunk them.
So I'm going to have to pick one.
These are quite thoroughly cool, but they're delicious.
Good. Here, I'm going to pick
I
which
shouldn't
one's
say
going to be my
delicious.
favorite.
That's like a
This one.
compliment.
Well, you don't do a cooking show on things that aren't delicious, right?
You know.
I think we want to know it's delicious.
I grew up watching my mother cook.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask you,
Well,
how did you learn how
my
to cook?
mom was a good cook. She grew up on a farm. And when there were lots of children, I think there were 12. And if she was sick, she couldn't go out in the field and dig beets. So she'd have to be the one staying and make bread. And she'd make 10 loaves of bread. So I love bread. I have a weakness for bread. It's my thing. So when I was 9, I learned to make bread, and that's really my favorite thing to make is homemade bread. Anyway, it was a great privilege to be raised by my mom in the kitchen. We sing little songs together and have fun together. We like coming here and eating.
Yes. Yes, I could not bake bread when I met you. You
Oh,
remember
that's
that?
right.
Yes.
You couldn't.
I could do a biscuit, but it was a heavy biscuit and could not do bread. So I learned how
Now
to do bread
that's
from you.
something I'd like to learn from you. Is
Oh.
how to do the biscuit.
Oh, okay.
I
We'll
can't-
have to work on
I
that.
haven't done that.
Well, maybe we will. Okay. So, thank you, Mom, for sharing how to make shortbread cookies. I can't wait to try my hand at it here soon, hopefully while you're still here in town, so
Oh,
you
dear.
can give me all the tips and make sure I do it right and test it and all that. Shortbread cookies are great any time of day. I love them in the afternoon with tea, but as Mom says, the best way to have a shortbread cookie is to share them with a friend. So, enjoy!